You wake up in Los Angeles. It is the spring of 1910. Orange groves stretch all the way to the mountains. The air smells of dust and citrus. There are no freeways, no billboards, no giant white letters spelling a famous word on the hill. Just a quiet farming suburb that the locals happen to call Hollywood. You own nothing, a little money, no name, no connections. But you know something that not one single person in California knows. This sleepy little town becomes the entertainment capital of the entire world. For everyone here, moving pictures are a cheap novelty, a 5-cent amusement for the poor. For you, the next 100 years are already written. You know that film becomes the biggest storytelling business ever built. You know the men who will own it, and you know they have not arrived yet. So the question is simple. Could you get here first? Let us look at what is actually happening around you. 5 years ago, in 1905, a man named Harry Davis opened a tiny theater in Pittsburgh. He charged 5 cents a ticket. He called it a nickelodeon. The idea exploded. By 1910, more than 10,000 nickelodeons cover America. Millions of working people pour in every single week to watch flickering silent shorts. For the first time in history, a mass audience is addicted to the screen. This is the demand. Enormous, hungry and growing faster than anyone can supply it. But here is the problem. One company controls almost all of it. In December 1908, Thomas Edison united the biggest film firms into a single trust. They called it the Motion Picture Patents Company. Everyone else called it the Edison Trust. They owned the camera patents. They owned the projectors. They owned the raw film through Kodak. If you wanted to make a movie, you paid them. Or they destroyed you. They sent detectives to raid sets. They filed injunctions. They smashed unlicensed cameras. So a strange thing is beginning right now. The rebels are running away. The independent filmmakers are fleeing 3,000 miles west to California. Why here? The sun shines all year, so you can film every single day. The judges out west sit far from Edison and are slow to help him. And the Mexican border waits close by in case a lawsuit ever chases you south. You are standing at the exact moment the movie business chooses its future home. So what do you do with your secret? You have several moves. Move 1 is the ground itself, the plain dirt under your feet. Right now, Hollywood land is cheap. Bean fields, lemon orchards, empty, dusty lots. You know that within 2 years, the first studio will rise on this soil. You know that studios, hotels, and mansions will one day cover every acre. The risk is real. Buy too early, and your money sleeps in the earth for years. The reward is enormous. You would own the ground the entire industry must build on. The alternative is to chase the movies directly and let strangers own the land. But land is patient. Land cannot be copied, sued, or outvoted by a trust, so you buy, quietly, acre by acre, while the groves are still green. In 1911, you watch it happen. Nestor Studios opens at Sunset and Gower. It is the first film studio in Hollywood. More follow within months. Suddenly, your cheap orchard sits beside a working movie factory. The dirt wakes up, but land alone will not make you a titan. You want the business too. Now comes the real decision. Do you side with the trust or the rebels? The trust looks safe. It is huge, rich, and armored with patents and lawyers. The rebels look doomed. Small, hunted. Always one injunction away from ruin. Everyone sane would bet on Edison. But you already know the ending. You know that in 1915, a court will strike the trust down as an illegal monopoly. You know the giant collapses, and the outlaws inherit the kingdom. So you do the unthinkable. You bet everything on the independents. And you know exactly which weapon they are about to discover. Watch what happens in 1910. A producer named Carl Laemmle changes the game. The trust keeps its actors nameless so no performer can demand a bigger salary. Faces on the screen, but never names. Cheap, replaceable, silent labor. Laemmle sees the crack. He lures away the most famous unnamed actress in America. She is known only as the Biograph Girl. Her real name is Florence Lawrence. He offers her something no one ever has. Her name on the poster, and $250 a week. Then he plants a fake story that she has died in a streetcar accident. The whole nation mourns a woman whose name it was never even told. Then Laemmle prints a bold advertisement. We nail a lie. She lives. He reveals her name, her face, and her brand new film all at once. Crowds mob her in the street. They tear the buttons clean off her coat. In that instant, the movie star is born. And you understand the money. A named star sells tickets everywhere. A star is a machine that prints demand. So you invest where Laemmle is pointing. You back the studios built around real names. You watch a young actress named Mary Pickford rise into the most powerful woman in film. Her pay climbs from hundreds a week to thousands, then to a fortune few men ever touch. You are not buying films. You are buying the humans the crowd will pay to follow. But one more piece is missing. A single movie is always a gamble. One flop can ruin you. So you copy the smartest man in the room. His name is Adolph Zukor. Once a humble furrier, now a movie king in the making. In 1912, he imports a long, serious film starring a famous European stage actress. He shows it in respectable theaters and dares to call the movies an art form. He is betting on the feature, the long film, the event people plan their whole night around. The Trust wanted every picture short and cheap. Zukor makes them long and grand. You follow him, because you know the feature becomes the beating heart of Hollywood. And Zukor teaches you the deepest lesson of all: own the pipeline. He does not just make films. He builds a company that makes, sells, and shows them. He forces theaters to buy his movies in huge blocks, sight unseen. Then he buys the theaters themselves, chaining the whole nation into his system. Production, distribution, exhibition. One empire, from top to bottom. This is the secret every mogul learns. Fox learns it. Mayer learns it. The Warner Brothers learn it. The fortune is never in one great picture. It is in owning every step that picture travels. So you build the very same way. You take a stake in a studio, its stars and its theaters. You own the land beneath it, the talent inside it, and the screens it flows through. Then 1915 arrives, exactly as you knew it would. The court destroys the Edison Trust. The mighty monopoly shatters into dust. Every rival who bet on Edison watches their empire turn into worthless paper. And you? You are already standing on the winning side of history. Your orchards are studio slots. Your contracts hold the biggest stars alive. Your theaters fill every night with a country that simply cannot stop watching. By the 1920s, the men beside you are among the richest in all of America. The studios you backed will one day be worth hundreds of millions, and then billions. You did not merely survive the birth of Hollywood. You owned a piece of its blood. So step back now and ask what really happened here. You did not win by making the best single film. Anyone can gamble on one story. You won by owning the scarce things, the land, the stars, the pipeline. The crowd chased the shiny picture on the screen. You bought the machine behind it. And notice the strangest truth of all. The safest asset was the plainest one, the dirt, the boring orange grove that nobody at the party wanted. Now carry that lesson home, into your own year, your own city. Somewhere near you right now sits an orange grove that no one respects. An unglamorous platform, a cheap sliver of attention. A tool that serious people call a toy. The Nickelodeon of your era, waved away as a passing fad. So ask yourself the real question. Are you chasing the movie or buying the land? Are you paying to watch the star or investing in the machine that makes the stars? Because the future is being filmed right now in some quiet town that everyone ignores. Most people will only ever buy the 5-cent ticket. You woke up in an orange grove in 1910, owning nothing but a secret. You leave owning the century that everyone else called a fad.